So van vlog 1, the start of my YouTube journey. A channel for ways to get on cheap trips, cheap events, package holidays, little trips, just anything really, like short weekends, weeks away, UK, Europe. After stumbling across a scrapbook that my mum made, documenting all her trips with my stepdad, we spent the weekend patching it back together and having a read through it, and she documented all of the deals, the prices, the board basis, where they went. There was train tickets, receipts, little comments next to bits of scrap paper on where to shop, and it was quite interesting to read through. Quite upsetting as well. Unfortunately, she passed away last year, and I've decided to create a digital version similar to what she did, but for myself and my wife, of all our trips. We like to get away as much as possible. Like everybody these days, we are on a budget. Times are obviously more expensive than they've ever been, and unfortunately the fun times get put on the back foot just so that you can pay your bills. But then you get to the end of your working life, if you're lucky, and you've not enjoyed that journey. So there's got to be a way of finding the balance to work, pay the bills, but at the same time create that scrapbook. So excuse me, I've decided to document my process and share with you how we've managed it, ways that we've saved up money, things that we've done, little tips, tricks, where we've saved money on deals, packages, and this will be my scrapbook, similar to my mum's. I think I'm going to create a physical copy as well. It was nice having that kind of real thing to hold, touch, read through, rather than the YouTube side of it. But I'm looking forward to learning how to kind of create this channel. A little bit of video editing maybe, nothing too fancy, and just vlogging places that we go, and probably do a few vlogs backdating places that we've been. We've been lucky enough over the years to travel. We've got some favourite spots, but we also like to kind of venture out and visit kind of the random places. And yeah, we'll just kind of document that. I'm hoping at some point to kind of retrace through the book and maybe visit some of the same hotels and do a comparison on the cost now versus then, and look at some of the places that she'd been. But maybe that'll be kind of next year when it's not as raw. But yeah, I want this page to kind of be for the regular person on a regular budget, and just showing you that it's possible to kind of still get out there, still find good deals, and still kind of have short breaks and live a normal life and enjoy it, and still go out and enjoy there and make the time. So me and my wife are now lucky though in the way that our kids are growing up. The commitments are a lot easier to kind of go away for weekends. Obviously you're not reliant on grandparents, kids. We're not reliant on school holidays anymore, which for the first year is massively noticeable. The price of holidays within term times are ridiculous. You can get multiple holidays throughout the year just out of the same cost as one, just because it's in the 6-week half term. It's never going to change, unfortunately, but we're just glad that we're now outside of that bounds. Sorry, and that we're kind of free to explore places maybe in the quieter times and get kind of the better prices and not be stuck in all the queues and the crowds. So my aim is to kind of, probably for the next few videos, I'm going to go over a few favourites, a few places we've been, rough budgets, any tips or tricks like transfers, buses, trains, how we get about, whether it's good to hire a car there, and then obviously I might start on the Facebook page if I see any cheap deals, any good flights, any little places we've been I can recommend. Obviously I can post them on there, but obviously those flights, the prices change hourly, let alone daily, so there's no point in me putting them on a video, because if it takes me a couple of days to upload for whatever reasons, then the prices are going to be gone. But I think if I get the Facebook group running and I can post things as and when, maybe people can pick up a few cheap deals. I mean, this year alone already, I've been lucky enough to take a little bit of time out. I've been to Norway for a few days. I got a really cheap flight from Manchester to Oslo. I mean, I think return, I was under 50 quid return. Train ticket to the airport direct into Terminal 2 from Stoke. It was about £18 return, so it was under 70 quid, travel done, and at Oslo and back, staying with a friend, so no accommodation costs on that. We've been to Amsterdam for a few days, stayed at a beautiful hotel, the Eden Hotel, would recommend that. I'll probably do a little video on Amsterdam, tours, trips, trains. I've just not long come back from Dublin, had a lads weekend in Dublin, really enjoyed it. It was ridiculously expensive. Getting to Dublin is really cheap from the UK, the flights, the deals are brilliant, but Dublin is expensive, and yeah, it just takes the fun out of it a little bit. I'm about in the next few weeks to head to Fuerteventura. I've got a really good deal on flights with that, so again I'll probably do a little video on Fuerteventura itself. Really love that island, really easy to navigate. Just no point in hiring a car over there. The coach/bus network is so good. And then summer, we're going to Cyprus, to Ayia Napa, probably our favourite island at the moment. Been many times, keep returning there most years. I'll probably do a vlog of that whilst we're there, and I'll try and do one before we go of past visits. Later this year, I've got tickets currently booked to Belfast for a long weekend in October. So I've only ever worked in Belfast, I've never holidayed in Belfast, so I'll vlog that as we go. We're planning on visiting the Titanic Museum and the Game of Thrones studio. If I manage to get any deals on entry tickets, I'll upload kind of how and why on those. And all being well, and if I stumble across something, I'm really keen this year to try and get a last minute deal, or just a cheap deal basically, to a Christmas market, whether that be Brussels, Belgium, somewhere in Germany, a Polish one. I'm just really keen to kind of get a December Christmas market, just a 2-day trip there and back, nothing fancy. And again, I'll document kind of that as I'm finding anything, and then yeah, I'm going to go back through some of the places we've been over the years, and explain kind of whether we'd go back, why, how we got there, costs, places of interest, and just so create this kind of travel vlog. And then separately, I think I'll do some separate vlogs on how we've raised funds for these trips, which is, it's all well and good me explaining where to go and what things cost and how to get deals on things, but at the same time, obviously, you've got to raise the funds for these trips to begin with. You know, they're not free, even if you can make them as painless as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna explain, we're gonna rummage through the house, we're gonna be a bit cutthroat, find things that we don't need anymore. Everybody's got stuff in the loft, and just because you don't want it, it really doesn't mean somebody else doesn't have a need for it. We're going to find ways of trimming down on things. I use Top Cashback a lot, which I'll explain and I'll link so that people can have my referral link and everybody's a winner. Then I'll get a little bit of a credit on my account as and when you use it and benefit from it yourself. So just silly little things with Top Cashback. Every year I change insurance providers on my van, my wife's car. It's never beneficial to stay with the same provider. You always find a cheaper quote elsewhere, and Top Cashback will always give you something, whether it's 15, 20 quid, 50 quid, anything for doing the swap over. Same with kind of like phone bills. Literally, I've just swapped my wife's contract. She's come out of contract with 3 at 38 quid a month, and we've just gone to O2 on a £10 a month, 12-month contract, SIM only deal, because the phone's perfect. She doesn't need a new phone. We've saved 28 quid a month. She's on £10 a month SIM, and I got £12.50 cash back from just doing the link through Top Cashback. You know, they cocked up as well. They didn't transfer the number across in time as they said. So as an added bonus, they've just credited her the first month's contract free. So like that contract is costing pennies to run that phone now. We've saved over £300 this year just on that one swap, and it's silly little things like that bringing your monthly expenditure down, which is what frees up the money for us to be able to to do these trips, and then selling little bits and pieces as we go. If I can put the odd extra shift in here and there, everybody obviously has some opportunity to do kind of extra work, whether it be different work, an extra side job, whether it just to be do a few hours overtime now and then just to top up the spending funds. But just silly little things, cutting back on how, you know, meal prep. I work away, I'm travelling now, I'll be away all week, and obviously the last thing I need to do is be spending a fortune every day eating into the money that I'm earning and reducing the amount of money that we can use for trips. So I've got to eat well and I've got to look after myself, but at the same time I don't want to be spending £20-30 a day like some people do. So I'll probably do some travel lodge or some hotel vlogs / apartment vlogs on the things I do to meal prep and on a budget, but while at the same time there's no point making yourself ill and running on fumes just so that you can save this pot of money. There's a balance to be had with everything, and I think obviously now at the stage we're at, it's about taking and making the most of the opportunities we've got, going away and enjoying those weekends, making that hard work feel worthwhile, making it feel like we're not just working to pay bills, you know. And all being well, obviously that can continue well past retirement age, but if it doesn't, we've got the biggest scrapbook possible kind of created already, rather than relying on doing it when potentially it's too late. So this will be van vlog 1, and there'll be many more to come. Hopefully I've got a lot to learn, I'm looking forward to it. And during kind of my spare downtime in hotels and that, I'm going to try and create these pages and just give people the opportunity to realise that it's possible to get out and about there and enjoy all these places that you see all these fancy YouTubers doing, but you've not got to be on stupid money, or you've not got to have a silver spoon just to be able to do it. It's just real world travel, real life, and real ways of creating that money to do it on a real budget, you know. And that's it. That's me out for this one.